afternoon. I think it's 4 o'clock, Thursday, July 24th, 2025. I'd like to call City of Oak Harbor's Historic Preservation Commission meeting to order. Roll call. Gideon Kaufman.
Present.
Greg Manza.
Present.
Nick Camden.
I'm here.
Kelly Bugg. I'm here. And Councilmember Barbara Arms.
Here.
Great, we're all here. Love it. There will be no approval of minutes today. Those will be on our next meeting. Right now, I'd like to move forward with public comments. If we have any public comments, any citizens comment on any subject of interest, not on the agenda or even on the agenda. Please. Yeah.
You guys know where the old Telegraph building is on Midway, across from Smith Park? It's a historical building in Oak Harbor. It was the first telegraph office. It's 980 Southeast Midway. So right when you turn up onto Midway from Southeast Pioneer, there's a little house on the right side that has yellow siding and a red metal roof. That was the original telegraph office in Oak Harbor. In fact, that hill was called Telegraph Hill. And there's mostly an empty lot in front of it with a historical craftsman home that I believe is one of the Mailer family homes that's been there for a long time. And I wonder if there were any building plans available for the area that comprises that lot and the view areas, the big field out around Bayshore, available for people like me to see, because I own that little building with that amazing view.
I will say this. Can you please state your name and address for a record?
Certainly. Donna Mitchell, and my address is 2864 Hunt Road, which is not in the city of Oak Harbor, but
That's okay.
that's where I live.
Thank you for the background on that building. If you would like to get in touch with me directly about future plans for parcels down the hill from you, let's get in touch either after the meeting, or if you want to, I can get you some contact information before you go. There is nothing applied for right now.
Okay,
There will be in the future, I'm sure.
I'm
but,
sure.
Yeah. So,
It's
yeah.
kind of prime real estate.
Kind of prime real estate, yeah.
Yeah.
So keep in touch, and
Okay.
either, like I said, either you can hang around till the end of the meeting. We won't probably be here for too long, or if you want to stop by, my office is downstairs.
I'll wait.
okay.
And get your contact after the meeting. Thank you very much.
Yep. And I guess a second question too, if I may. Have you ever considered putting your property on the historic registry?
I would.
I don't want to put you on the spot or anything.
No, I would totally do it. I'll talk to you more about it
Yeah.
after the meeting, because I don't really know what's involved.
Let's
It
do
is
that, yeah.
currently, oh, how rude. It's hosting 2 Airbnbs now.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
What are the benefits, Ray?
Well, the benefits might be if you do any sort of improvements to it, you can get tax credits for it.
Well, I do like that. But I've already made the improvements. Are
Yeah.
they retroactive?
No,
No.
unfortunately.
Okay.
Well, thank you, Dawn. I sure hope you sign up to put it on the historic register. That'd be wonderful. Thank you for your comments. Next is the discussion of the DAPS Certified Local Government Grant presentation by Ray.
Thank you very much. Members of our Historic Preservation Commission, thank you. This is one thing that we have been talking about for quite some time, and I know that my hope was that our meeting here today, I would have good news that we were going to get some money. But the process, apparently, unbeknownst to me, includes a presentation that we have to give to a group that makes the determination on who gets grant money. There is apparently a fairly competitive field this year, but we are going to make our presentation at 9:15 tomorrow morning. And so I was going to kind of give you the run through of our presentation and ask if you have any additions or things that you might want to put onto our presentation. We have a limited amount of time, about 10 minutes of actual presentation time and about 5 minutes of question and answer. So I'm trying to keep the presentation short to extend that question and answer period a little bit. So what we'll do is I'll go ahead and go through the presentation as I have it written up for now. And like I said, if you do have anything at the end that you think I should add to it, let me know, and we can certainly do that. So I'll go ahead and start the presentation. The slides you can follow along with. I'm going to be doing it from my desk downstairs tomorrow morning, so I'm going to be able to just sit there and read off of it. So hopefully it'll go nice and smoothly, and everybody will be paying attention first thing in the morning after they get their coffee. So what we have is a background information on why it is we're here, and I also wanted to provide an acknowledgement page with our Historic Preservation Commissioners. Thank you all for what you do, and recognize you all, and our staff as well, Wendy and Sarah and myself. And then moving into kind of a unique history of the city of Oak Harbor. We started out before white settlers came here with the Lower Skagit people. That history is kind of, not really recognized as yet in some places. So we want to make sure that we appreciate that as well. I'm not going to try and pronounce any of the names of the settlements, but I do know that there were approximately 7,000 people living around Penn Cove area back before white settlers arrived here. So there was significant settlement in this area. Following up with that, the initial Dutch and Irish settlers of the 1850s. Following that, incorporation of the city in 1915. And it was a farming community of less than 400 people up until World War II. I put the historical population on there with a highlight of the pre-1970 numbers just to show where our development really occurred. And those percentage changes in the 1950s and 60s are very eye-opening indeed from the construction of Naval Air Station Whidbey Island. So because of that, the rapid growth in the second half of the 20th century, a lot of what we see as historical in the city of Oak Harbor is mid-century modern. We're going to highlight that a little bit. I'm going to go back, honestly, and probably put a couple more pictures of our previous buildings there. If I can find some that are still there, the ones that got torn down, it's nice to see and all, but it would be nice to have some of those older ones as well. Today, our population of almost 25,000, the military base being the main economic driver of the community, and just an overview of what the city looks like now. Unfortunately, you see a lot of parking lots, but we're trying to work towards a better future and better design, and part of that is the preservation of our historic properties. As we started out as a local government in 2018, that was the process by which we went through to get the Historic Preservation Commission. We kind of went through a little bit of a lull after COVID and kind of lost some of our partners in the the commission and tried to get that kind of going again. We're trying to elevate the historic preservation and get that education and that knowledge out there. And we feel that doing an inventory is a good start for this process and getting the kind of baseline of a registry and a historic inventory to start from. So the actual grant request is a reconnaissance level survey within specific areas of the city. And this is the map that I provided to them. I know it's small and hard to read, but what it is essentially that northeast 6th Avenue stretch of kind of mid-century modern homes in the northeast portion of the community, the Chimes Corner at Midway and Whidbey Avenue, the area along Southeast 8th Avenue, the Avenue of the Oaks, the kind of historic original residential area, and then of course our central business district that's outlined in the purple there. So the intent of that survey is to help try and expand our historic registry. What we're doing right now is a historic inventory, which is a just kind of listing of all potential future historic registry properties. Then that way we can try to expand the registry through folks like you who might want to get on the property, on your property on there, but also just a kind of expanding knowledge in the community of these historic properties that exist. Another intent is to establish historic context of why it is that these buildings kind of exist in the way that they do. Identify those development periods, the early, pre-war and post-war development periods, and again, prioritizing the potential resources for local, state, and historic or national registers, and then potentially identifying future historic districts, perhaps entire neighborhoods or streets that might go on our registry. So the statement of need and the budgeting, why it is we need to get some money from this grant. We don't have any budget funds in our city budget right now. Part of that is because our medium household income is 25% below the state average. We don't have a lot of excess money to kind of do more discretionary type projects like this. But the good thing is that this survey could easily be expanded by adding more areas in the future. It's designed to be expandable, designed to be added on to. And so this grant would provide a foundation for the city to meet the standards that we agreed to when we did the original establishment of the CLG, the Certified Local Government. So your project objectives, we are surveying between 50 and 75 resources at the reconnaissance level. That is, this information is taken from the two consultants that we talked to previously, kind of getting a good idea of what they could do for roughly $20,000. So we're going to prioritize the Old Town Central Business District area and the Chimes Corner commercial node, and identify a sampling of other resources that are representative of periods and themes within a historic context. We talked about that mid-century, and we also talked about the kind of pre-war stuff. And the focus on Midway and SR20 Triangle, as it's probably going to be facing some development pressure in the future with the results of our comprehensive plan and a potential upzoning in that area. We'll also get some recommendations in the survey report of the possible eligibility of resources. Essentially what that's saying is potential future historic registry properties. And then recommendations for future intensive level survey work, more detailed information that we can get from some of these properties. So as a summary, and the reason why we are applying for this grant, we are a first-time applicant, and we're looking to kind of get started on a process here and get going on a full, robust historic registry and inventory. This is a basis for a future expansion of our historic registry and inventory. Our request is a modest $20,000. And what we're planning on doing is completing that in a year and paving the way for future additional information to be added to it, perhaps coming back for future grants to add on to that to get, like I said, a more robust listing. Oh, I thought I had more.
Oh.
Ah, rats. Okay, I thought I had more than that. So, cutting off right there. I apparently did not save all of it. So that is kind of the extent of what we have as a presentation for tomorrow. There are a couple of slides at the end, and I apologize I didn't have those on there. Just to kind of wrap up as a summary of what it is we're asking for. So with that, is there any information that you think I should actually add to it or subtract from it, or anything that you think might be useful or helpful to move forward with that process?
First note, I did like that you put the word modest in there, 20,000. I don't remember how much they give out every year. I know it's not a large percentage, so it's good to keep that little, just being humble. We're just asking for a little favor, you know?
Yep.
We're new guys. You said it was at 9:15 a.m. It's very unfortunate timing because it's tomorrow, and we only meet every 2 months.
Yeah.
So you'll probably find out before our next meeting in September would we find out in an email, or do we have to wait and just be on our?
I am more than happy to share that information with you. I would just ask that we not respond back and forth to each other, because then it becomes a quorum situation. So what I probably will do is just email you individually. There's not so many that I can't, do that. So yes, absolutely. We will let you know the results of that, and I anticipate it would be within a couple weeks probably.
And when they told you had to do the presentation, however long ago, I assume they gave you what needed to be in the 10 minutes. So as long as I didn't see the email or anything, but if you put in there what they want, then I'm happy with it.
Yeah, and that's why I organized it the way I did, with the statement of need and the intent and the project summary and, kind of these buzzwords, a reconnaissance level survey, et cetera, so that they know exactly what it is we're doing, and did it in the order in which we provided the application to them, so that it all makes sense. When they're looking at it, they're seeing the same thing.
Does it make sense to put any numbers in there as to potential historic buildings that are in the area?
I don't see anything wrong with that. I just don't want to throw out numbers I don't have basis for. You know what I'm saying? I think that the thing is when I make my presentation, I'm going to try and hammer home, and going back to, where is it? Going back to the population numbers, there's a reason that we don't have a lot of, 1890s brick buildings here. These are the numbers. This is why. And just kind of expressing that and saying, look, we aren't Port Townsend. We aren't some of these places that have a huge stock of Victorian houses and things like that. Our growth was, over 200% in the 1950s and 60s. So that's what we're going to get. And also, unfortunately, as a secondary result of that, there wasn't as much kind of attention paid to historic inventory and historic resources back in the 1950s and 60s. So a lot of those houses and things that were built in the 1920s were probably torn down. So it's kind of a double-edged sword there, that we got, kind of the short end of the stick as far as what we have as historical. However, there is still legitimate, historical value in buildings that were built in 1952. So,
To add to that, in terms of showing how new we are besides years, what do we have, 3 buildings currently on it?
yeah,
I don't know if you mentioned that specifically, but it could just be a comment when you talk about our newness. We're
Yeah.
only at 3.
Yeah.
We'd like to expand,
I agree. I do like how you put in the construction of the Naval Air Station on there. I don't think too many other applicants can say that.
true.
Not many other naval air station would be islands out there, yeah.
Oh, good job, Ray. Thank you.
Thank you.
Any other comments, questions? About the DAP presentation that Ray just presented? Okay. And any member comments in general?
We got the Whidbey Island State Fair or County Fair, sorry, started today to Sunday. I've never gone on a weekday before, and I wanted to, so I went. I'm already back. It was great. There's still crowds, but it's not as busy as a Saturday. But you should go, because the South Whidbey Historical Preservation Group is fundraising there and providing support. I didn't get to see any of them when I went there, but they're probably there this weekend for sure. So it's always good to support other historical events going on in our county.
I agree. Looks like our next scheduled meeting date is going to be September 25th, 2025. And meeting adjourned.